Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So decided to do a bit of a different one today and actually jump in front of the camera for a change. So I've had my Focus ST for 3 years now and I keep getting asked the same questions. What have I done to it and how much power has it got? Pretty legit, right? So I thought today I'd answer that for you rather than having to constantly keep explaining myself to every single person that wants to ask me, and I can just direct them to this video. So what I'm going to do is I'll walk around the outside of the car and show you what I've done to the outside of it. I'll move on to the engine after that, and then possibly update with future plans and ideas that I've got for it in the future. So hopefully everyone enjoys it. Roll the intro. So guys, if we start from the front, so up front we've got the Sunsport upper and lower grills, just to add a bit of extra aggressiveness to the front end, just adds a bit more dimension if you ask me. Coming down underneath that, you've got the front splitter from RSP. Behind that, although you can probably just not see it, you've got an AirTech intercooler, which I will go into the engine stuff after I've done the exterior. The wheels, they are a Bowler FLB wheel. They're an 8.5 by 18. The offset was custom done, which I can't entirely remember what the offset is, but I'm sure I can dig it up somewhere. Tyres, running the Uniroyal Rainsport 5s. Can't go wrong with a set of tyres like them. In my opinion, they're probably one of the best tyres you can get for this car. They work amazingly in the dry and the wet. And, well, what do you get in this country? Wet and dry. Can't really go wrong then, to be honest, and they stick like bloody horse mucks who are bloody want it. Down to the sides, you've got the RSP side skirt extensions as well. Coming around to the back, this is all Maxton, so you've got the Maxton diffuser, rear spats, the diffuser extension, and going up to the top, you've also got the Maxton RS wing. Interesting thing, that base, I actually won that, believe it or not. It's hydro dipped in like a carbon effect, but I actually won that, which was quite impressive. Coming down underneath that, you can just about see the exhaust, which that is a Mongoose section 59. Eagle-eyed viewers might be able to spot that. I've only got one tip. That's because it fell off. Well, I say fell off in inverted commas. Coming up to the side here, you've got a set of LED tail lights, which much more an improvement over the original ones, which are just utterly boring, and they're the same ones you actually get on the standard Focus. Why they put them on this car, I'll never know. But overall, outside, wouldn't say massive change over what the original would look like, but it's a bit more of an RS look. And I know some people might just say, oh, why don't you just buy the RS? Well, this car's running about the same power as an RS, and it actually costs a lot less. So, who's the winner? So guys, coming on to the engine. So, at present, the car's running 318 horsepower with 402 foot-pounds of torque on a Dream Science Mod X. Pretty much as high as I can go at the moment. I do have plans to take it further, but time and money, you know how it is, these things are money pits. So the car is block modded through Dream Science Performance. So disclaimer as well, any company that I do mention, I'm not sponsored by them. I purely put their name in there because it's a company I recommend. So you've got the block mod done by Dream Science. It's running a RS clutch, which I had done through Wayside Performance. You've got the AirTech plenum, you've got the BD Performance crossover, and the ProRam induction kit. The car is running a Forge recirc valve and Forge actuator, which definitely does make a difference when it comes to actually getting turbo flutter as well. A few little bits on the side. The engine has been hydro dipped by Hydromania in Forge carbon. As you can see here, yellow bits, you've got the Powerflex engine mount support there. You've also got one under the gearbox, and also the AirTech torque mount as well, which definitely holds the engine in more places than others. You've got the AirTech header tank there in matte black, which looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. Just definitely makes the engine look a little bit nicer compared to that whole plastic piece of junk that it comes with. Pro hoses, coolant hoses and boost hoses all round. You've got the RS style vac pipe over there. You've got the Summit strut brace. That's also one in the boot as well, which definitely helps stiffen things up a little bit. Suspension wise, it's running Koni STRT shocks with H&R springs, which is a 20mm drop at the front and 40mm drop at the rear. And as you can probably tell from this angle, it definitely sits pretty nice and aggressive. And you can't really argue with having a bit more presence on the road. People definitely get out of the way. The car literally sounds brilliant. So the car's got a Mongoose Section 59 turbo back, which personally, in my opinion, is one of the best exhausts you can get for this car. There are other ones on the market. You can get the KMS Thunderstorm or the KMS Section 18, for example. You've got the Cobra systems. But if you want a bit of sound that sounds pretty loud when it wants to be, but is not invasive and it doesn't drone, the Mongoose system would be the one I would recommend. Also coming around to the rear, although I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, underneath there, if you can just about see it, you've got the white line anti-roll bar at the rear, which these things are notorious for being pretty loose on the back end, so it definitely helps just keep it a lot more planted when you're going around a corner at some speed. So firing it up so you guys can hear the Mongoose exhaust system. Sorry about the mess on the floor. I really need to give this thing a hoover. But as you can tell, it's not overly invasive. It does quieten down a little bit more actually. This is literally just because it's been started up. But in terms of the noise of this thing, it's definitely got presence when it comes down the road. You can hear it coming a fair while away if you're on full chat. But as a recommendation for exhausts, that's what I would go for. So future plans for this thing, sorry you see the doors open a lot. Future plans for this thing, I do want to get a limited slip differential for it at some point, be it either like a Quafe or an M factory one, depending on which one I decide to go for, but they're very similar in general. Power up wise, although it's pushing 318 now, ideally I would like to get it to about 400. I am looking at doing an RS turbo conversion on it, and RS injectors, RS fuel pump, to get it to roughly about 400 horsepower, give or take. And then I reckon power wise, that'll be about it really. I say I've had the car for 3 years now, and it was completely bone standard when I got it. It was unmodified completely, and in 3 years it's basically transformed into what it is now. I personally absolutely adore the car. You can't really go wrong. It gives you so many smiles per miles, and well, I'm not being funny, the colour, yeah, you can't really lose it in a car park, let's be honest here people. But little walk around just to finish it all off. You can see the DRLs lighting up down there. But it definitely has presence. People want to label it a boy racer car. That's not something I actually condone. I'm not a boy racer, I'm an enthusiast. Boy racers run around like absolute idiots, bloody roaring up and down streets at stupid 100 miles an hour, and they give us all a bad name. That's not what I'm about. End of the day, I'm a car enthusiast, and in my opinion, car enthusiasts should be the best drivers on the road, because driving is our hobby and it's our lifestyle. Why would we put that at risk by driving like absolute idiots? Just saying. But yeah, that's a little rundown of everything I've done to this car in the few years that I've owned it. I can't see myself ever getting rid of it, let's be brutally honest. The car's literally done me absolutely no issues whatsoever in the whole time I've owned it. She runs sweet as a nut. I mean, she's on 112,000 miles now, or just more, or a little bit more than that. And honestly, you can't fault it. It runs smooth as silk. I've done long journeys on it. It's not uncomfortable. And it's just nice and easy to drive. End of the day, it's a driver's car. You drive it to enjoy it. It's got no fancy bloody like cruise control or anything like that, because it's meant to be driven by the person driving it. The car's not supposed to drive itself. It's for you to enjoy. So guys, yeah, that was just a quick rundown of everything I've done to this thing. I probably missed a few bits here and there because there's so much stuff to bloody list. It takes forever, and otherwise this video would drone on for bloody hours, and I don't really want to do that, and I think you guys will probably fall asleep. But in terms of these cars, what they actually like to own in terms of things like running costs and insurance, etc. Well, fuel costs, well, with today's day and age, you're not looking at it being cheap to run, let's be honest. It will only do about 22, 23 miles per gallon. In fact, I'm looking at mine now, it's on 21.9 miles per gallon. So don't expect these things to be economical. They're there to be driven. They're not there to be like tootled around town at 10 miles an hour. They're meant to be enjoyed, and that's exactly what this car does. I enjoy it every time I drive it. Insurance wise, well, it entirely depends on where you go for. The insurance company that I use is Greenlight Insurance, and they've never done me any issues whatsoever. They've been solid every time. The insurance premiums are pretty reasonable for what you'd pay for this sort of thing. But overall, it's a car that you enjoy. It's a car to be driven. And in terms of how many smiles you get for it, you smiles per miles, really. I mean, I literally smile ear to ear as soon as this car is on the road. It has presence, it has appeal, and they're going to be a future classic one day. And don't get me wrong, their price range, depending on what sort of spec you're looking for, you could probably pick one of these up second-hand nowadays for between, I don't know, a pre-facelift at least, like this one is. You're looking at about, I don't know, I'd probably say about 3 to 6 grand at tops, but they're there to be driven and you enjoy it. But in terms of this video, guys, I'm going to pretty much just wrap this one up here. If you want to see a few more things here and there, then feel free to let me know. If you've got questions about something that I might have missed or you're not sure about, just feel free to stick it in the comments. And I'll try and do some more videos at some point. I'm going to do some stuff like some point of view driving for it. I'll do some stuff I like about it, some stuff I don't like about it. And I'll try and get some more content uploaded at some point. But until then, peace out, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.